Do not stream. This is the 8th VRChat Commandment. I have a very long history with VRChat streamers. During this time, I've closely observed their behaviors and methods of achieving money or fame. I think anyone with eyes could see that public VRChat streamers are generally greedy, entitled, and talentless. For years now I've watched how they turned on each other over petty squabbles, or to climb the Twitch ladder, of course. Speaking of climbing the Twitch ladder, did you know that many smaller streamers stream snipe bigger streamers for exposure? Yes, this is true. I've witnessed this being done a countless amount of times. You'd think that this kind of behavior would end up getting someone cancelled, but no, it's apparently not that simple. Matter of fact, I could think of a certain streamer who pretty much enjoys getting used or climbed on.
I saw Rob join a public world, and I memorized what the numbers were and which one. So I loaded before he did. So I was talking to everyone in the club to seem like I didn't really
Just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and you can tell him as a sniper too. If you watch that VOD, I came onto Rob really like. I saw Rob join a public world, and I memorized what the numbers were and which one. So I loaded before he did. So I was talking to everyone in the club to seem like I didn't really
Just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and you can tell him as a sniper too. If you watch that VOD, I came onto Rob really like.
Anyway, streamers stream for money. Don't ever believe anything else. These adults want to take the easy route in life and play video games for a living. You could sit there and try justifying it all you want, but ultimately, the situation is exactly how I described it. It's just a bunch of greedy, lazy pigs who want to play video games for a living. Get over it. Now, streaming other games is a different topic entirely, but in VRChat, the streamers are getting their content directly from the social interactions of other unexpecting players, and this is why streaming in public is strictly forbidden. Many of us don't want to contribute to your pathetic dream of playing video games as a career. We don't want to be on your stupid stream giving random people content and making you money. We don't want hundreds or even thousands of people to hear some of the questionable things we say. And speaking of that, did you know people streaming you is nearly a surefire way to get you banned if you just so happen to do or say something questionable. I'd also like to mention that you can't possibly have any kind of private conversation with the streamer because there are obviously people watching. Now, normally this wouldn't be a thing, but there's a certain pastor that goes around in VRChat talking to people about theology and how people can be saved and whatnot. Now, there have been numerous occasions where those same people on his stream want to speak with him in private, but can't because he's streaming, obviously. And instead of ending the stream, he says he'll talk to them later, but let's be honest, that probably never happens. The same pastor interrupts his own sermons with streamer talk like, "Oh, thanks for the raid! Ooh, hey, thanks for the follows, man! Oh, I appreciate the subs," and that kind of thing. It is extremely disrupting, awkward, and may even be considered inappropriate for such an event. Now, let's talk more about VRChat streamers. VRChat streamers specifically are an entirely different breed. Some of them straight up promote lewd or questionable content. Some of them even sleep on stream and people still watch. You viewers are honestly some of the dumbest people on the planet. I can't imagine why you idiots would watch them sleep or do nothing at all. Why would over 1,000 people watch a mute streamer watch videos? You viewers are like freaking zombies. Like, are your lives really that boring? It is fact that streamers use others for content. It simply comes with the job of streaming in public. It's also been known that some streamers go out of their way to add certain people they meet just because of their content value. They meet them in public, add them, then bring them in their own private lobbies to squeeze them their creative juices. Streamers have been known to ruin friend groups and limit the actions and behaviors around them solely because they are streaming. This sounds like a burden, and it seems very selfish as well. Just like how streamers limit the actions and behaviors of those around them, it has the same effect on them as well. They must follow TOS at all times, or they risk being taken down, resulting in less honest and less flavorful content. They struggle in vain as they attempt to say what they're doing is work or a job, but because there is no exertion, agreed price, or actual product involved, it simply isn't. You do not have to pay to watch their stream, and these streamers are doing the same exact thing we're doing, except they simply press their stream button. Leisurely activities that you'd be doing anyway during downtime should never be paid for or ever considered as work or a job. That is simply ridiculous. Streamers have also been known to cling to each other like packs of wolves. They know they're boring on their own, so they try to attach themselves to other forms of content. These streamers are more than likely to be the stream snipers mentioned from before. Streamers are also infamous for being greedy. They trick the simple-minded into giving them money with donation goals, sub goals, or dumb shit like birthday streams. Think about where your money is going with these failures, but let's talk about that now. Now, despite everything I've said, I still don't really have an issue with streamers who stay out of public lobbies, because it's not really my business, right? But we need to talk about the real issue now, which would be you, the viewers. You viewers are why these streamers continue to exist. Without your donations, most of these streamers would be much more humble. Most of them wouldn't even be able to make enough money to live their sinful, lavish lives anymore. And that's exactly how it should be. Regardless of how lazy or worthless these streamers are, I can't deny that they've earned the money they get from the subscriptions. The business model of subscriptions makes sense to me, right? It's like you're purchasing access to the streamer's content without ads getting in the way. So with that being said, I don't really have an issue with streamers receiving money from subs, but the donos are the problem here. Think about what you're doing when you donate your money to something. Where is it going? For these streamers, you're giving away your hard-earned money to someone who's sitting there playing video games. Their lives are infinitely easier than yours, and the bigger streamers make a lot more money than you. Something about freely giving away your money to people who make more than you doesn't sit right with me at all. Would I be wrong in saying you're a complete fool for doing so? The money goes directly in their pockets, and they can now use it as they see fit. Whether they want to buy $50 steaks or completely, other completely unnecessary things. Please, please stop donating to streamers. Save your money. If you absolutely want to donate it to some organization or something like that actually benefits mankind, like cancer institutes or that kind of thing. Go save some animals. Like, are you really gonna line the pockets of some dirty, lazy scumbag, or are you gonna go save lives? If you continue donating to people who just want to play video games as opposed to donating to help the world itself, you're a completely oblivious degenerate, and you don't deserve to be on this planet anymore. As of April 25th of 2022, I am officially revising one of the commandments. The 8th commandment of do not stream is now do not stream or record. This is most likely the final revision, but you will find that this one is quite necessary. I have put much thought into this change, and I realize that this should have been done from the very beginning because it makes absolutely no sense for one of them to be okay, but not the other. Let me explain. So, when streaming, or like when comparing recording to streaming, there's practically no difference. I went and rewatched the old Do Not Stream video, and I realized that the issues are identical. there are two main concerns with people who stream or record in public. So one, you have the potential breach of privacy or consent, and two, the broadcasters making money by essentially using people for content. Now I ask, how is recording someone any different? If anything, recording is more insidious because for the streamers, you could nearly guarantee that you'll know they're streaming, but there are zero indications that someone is recording. Like the streamers will always have their Twitch information in their bios. I mean, you see this literally every day. You just go to any public lobby, they have it plastered all over them. Now, even if they don't, if you try hard enough, and I've done this before, you could straight up go to Twitch and you could browse every single VRChat stream and look for it. And you could even do the same on YouTube. And you'd most certainly find them eventually. I know I used to. So it is very possible to do this. But if they're recording, it is impossible. And even if you can't find the stream, the potential breach of privacy or consent is still there with being recorded. As someone who has been secretly recorded by multiple people, mostly by my own friends, you can believe me when I say that being recorded is even worse than being streamed. Not only because of the things I mentioned earlier, but because the recording can be altered. If they're streaming, this can't be done. When you know there's someone streaming in a public lobby, you have some decisions to make. You can avoid them by blocking them or leaving. You could decide to engage with them knowing that you're on stream. Or you could do the most Chad thing by inconveniencing them. Even if someone is sitting in front of you recording, you can't do or say certain things to inconvenience them, because they could simply edit the footage however they wish. This commandment is the only absolute exception to the do not do these in public lobbies order. Under no circumstances should you ever be recording or streaming people in private lobbies without their consent. The other concern or complaint of making money is completely identical to someone recording you on YouTube or something. There's literally no difference. You can make money on either platform, so there's nothing else to say. So now that this revision has been made, know that any time you record people in public lobbies, you're just as bad as, or even worse than, the streamers you claim to hate so much. And if you just do it to your own friends without their knowledge, this is nothing short of transgression.